I lean back into my seat under the vines by the little statue in the garden of my villa and look out over my estate. The evening breeze comes up from the sea, and I watch the sunlight falling over my fields and onto the white temples of Athens, and I think, here I am, Timon Athenagoras, the most unlikely landowner in the empire. Why am I here? The reason spans almost my whole life, and yet I only learned it in the few moments that summed up all my years in the court of Herod the Great. Imagine the evening of the annual banquet. The palace at Jerusalem is filled with the mighty ones of the empire, Jews, Romans, Greeks, Persians, all in awe of Herod. But now that he's old and sick, they think it's safe to despise him and call him mad. Behind his back, of course, they haven't the courage to come out and say it. And I am upstairs in a little private room with a couch and a table. This is where Herod will be. And this is where I bring the supper tray. Now then, let's get your supper set out, Your Majesty. Spiced chicken and lark's tongues in aspic, guaranteed not poisoned. Or if they are, you'll soon be looking for a new personal servant. And here's your wine. Tuscan vineyards, of course. And just enough to get you to sleep, but keep you sober. Reasonably sober. I do think you made the right decision about the banquet. You're really not well enough, Your Majesty, and they can get on perfectly well without you, as you well know. They only come to stuff their faces and get looked at. They couldn't care less about you, King of the Jews. They're all here. High priest, chief scribe, Roman ambassador, and that great fat eunuch from Persia that comes every year. All the usual crawlers cashing in their free meal ticket from the greatest king in Asia. Will you leave them to it, I say. There's only one person in this palace cares about you, I hope you realise. Just one. Just one. Well, okay, you have a quiet night in with your feet up. Oh, speaking of which, do we have the ointment? Yes, we do. And we have the bandages and the dressings and, the pongy salve. And on the medicine front, 1, 2, 3, yes, all there. And on the dire emergency front, we have the red bottle and, oh, heaven forbid, the green bottle. But let's not talk about that. I've got to get you here for supper, so please, please don't go dotty and wander off. Not tonight. Please, not tonight.
Hello? Hello? Anyone at home? Oh, thank goodness, peace at last. Oh, and some rather nice delicacies. Spiced chicken. Better than they've got downstairs.
Zibiah, I thought it was you. What are you doing here? These are private rooms.
Well, General Nabal, you're looking so sweet in your dress uniform. As for what I'm doing here, isn't it obvious I'm attending King Herod's banquet?
What? With Uzzah so ill? He's your husband. Why aren't you with him?
Well, it's a nice change from bedpans and stinking poultices, but mainly I'm representing the family. It's in our interests. You should understand that, Nabal.
Uzzah should be representing the family. I'd have stopped you if I'd known.
Nabal, you can't. Besides, what do you want Uzzah to do? Lead out of bed and charge down here to Jerusalem? Not an option, dear. It was me or nothing.
What, are you saying he's worse?
You hadn't heard? It's really just a matter of time now. So if I were you, I'd apply for compassionate leave so you can go and hold your little brother's hand for the last time.
Well, I wish I'd seen through you before Father arranged the marriage. It would never have happened.
Well, in a way, I sympathise with that. I've had 12 of the most boring years imaginable. I won't hide it from you, Nabal. I'll be glad to breathe the free air again. It isn't just the money, although there'll be lots of that. It's, what could I say, the opportunity.
Opportunity?
Of course. It was a good family to marry into. I've scored a lot of points. But now, what next? I'll be free enough and just young enough to make an even better match. And who knows what next? Frankly, dear, Uzzah was just a rung on the ladder.
Why did you marry him, Zibiah? Why did you inflict yourself on our family?
I told you, dear. Opportunity. And don't think I haven't paid a price. I've tolerated Uza's deadly tedium too long. I deserve the release. Oh, don't worry. I'll do some decent mourning. But if I'd known he was going to be a provincial financial official, I might have thought twice. He's a human abacus.
Don't provoke me, Zibia. Why didn't you stay at the banquet?
Fresh air, dear. The Romans are being obnoxious. Do you know what that cow Jocasta said to me?
No, but you deserved it. Now come away before you're arrested.
Oh, I think I'll stay. I might meet Herod.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
He must be up here somewhere. If he's not at the banquet, where is he?
In bed. He has a fever.
Oh, you're so loyal. Admit it, he's having a mad turn. He's roaming the corridors calling for his murdered wife.
Have some respect.
Well, why do you think he's lasted so long? He's assassinated everybody who as much as looked at the throne, or criticised him, or was too popular, or too good-looking.
He has the confidence of the emperor.
Just as well. The people can't stand him. King of the Jews, and he's not even Jewish.
He has made this province a greatly admired nation.
Before he was mad. But I suppose he does well for us, those of us that behave anyway. Actually, you know, I took my life in my hands coming down here to the palace. You don't know who the old maniac's going to go for next. You know what they say, safer to be Herod's pig than Herod's son. And speaking of sons, where's Prince Antipater? He's not at the banquet.
His Highness is detained.
Detained? Oh, the dungeon. How juicy. What charge?
Well, suspicion of conspiring to usurp the throne. Only suspicion, mind.
Well, he's either innocent or stupid. He ought to know Herod hasn't got long left.
Yes, but Antipater isn't in the running.
Oh, Herod's imagined it then.
They're gathering evidence.
Oh, thumbscrews. There won't be anyone left to succeed him at this rate.
That's tasteless, Zibia.
Not as tasteless as murdering 3 of your sons, and your wife, and your wife's mother.
They were legally executed.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Unlike his brother-in-law.
Ah, yes, the swimming accident.
That's the one, when those silly men inadvertently held him under the water for 10 minutes. So careless. And the sad case of the High Council. Imagine 46 dear-old clergymen having a collective coronary. Probably the shock of seeing those nasty men with swords. And was it 1 high priest or 2?
That was over 30 years ago. The authority structure has stabilised.
Ah, yes. Where would society be without those nice, keen boys of the liquidation squad? They say they're so hunky in that shiny armour.
Zibia, I'd almost say you enjoyed all this.
Well, it's sort of morbidly fascinating. Anyway, everyone likes a good story, and it's so tedious up there in Trachonitis. Court gossip makes the time pass wonderfully.
Oh.
Come to think of it, Nabal, you've lasted quite a while yourself. Cushy number, of course, a military chief of staff.
Well, I make my contribution. I shall continue to serve.
An example to us all. Mind you...
What?
Quite a catch.
Catch? Who are you? Oh, no, you can't be serious. Oh, Zibia, how could you?
My little joke, Nabal. Why should I set myself up as a target? Besides, who'd marry that geriatric bag of ailments? What do you suppose I could be thinking of?
You could be thinking of Uza. Good night, Zibia.
Well, it might not be so bad. Hail Queen Zibia. Zibia, Queen of the Jews.
Can I help you?
I don't think so.
These are private apartments, madam.
And you are?
My name is Timon Athenagoras, and I'm personal servant to King Herod.
Oh, well, now we've been introduced, buzz off. Oh, on second thoughts, bring me some wine.
I'm personal servant to King Herod, madam. Now, I must ask you to return to the banquet.
Fiercely loyal, I see.
Yes, I am, but if necessary, a more senior person can be brought. Now, I really must ask... Timon, you better come quick. He got away from the nurses. He's pretty bad. Where is he? Well, I don't know. We lost him. Lost him? How could you have lost him? Madam, excuse me. I'm sorry.
You just can't get decent staff nowadays. When I'm queen, vile minions, I shall surround myself with more worthy servants. Oh, you must be the more senior person? Well, I can tell you I've no intention of moving, so you can totter off and find someone even more senior than yourself, if that's possible. And when you find them, tell them to bring me some wine.
Have you seen my wife? I was looking for my wife. I sent her away, you see. She must be very upset by now.
I haven't seen your wife. Perhaps she's at the banquet.
I've been looking for her for ages, ever since I sent her away. She must be terribly upset. Oh, is that supper?
I really don't think you should do that.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. It's for me and my wife, you see. We like to sit here and have a little supper together. Do you know, I can't think where she's got to. You haven't seen her, have you? You haven't seen my wife?
No, I haven't. She ought to be in bed by now, a woman of her age.
Oh, she's not in bed. I'd know if she was. She has such cold feet. Oh, that's a very pretty dress.
It's a Roman style. Pinches a little under the arms, but I must say I'm regretting this Roman hairstyle. Far too severe. I really prefer my hair down. I need to relax.
Oh, I'm going to miss the banquet. I'm a little off colour tonight.
If I just take these combs out... Oh, that's better.
My wife won't be there. Too many people she doesn't like. Those Roman matrons can be quite obnoxious, you know. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen her. Everybody in the palace knows her. A charming woman. A lovely, charming woman. Oh, my darling. There you are. Oh, with your beautiful hair around your shoulders. Oh, don't leave me again. I'll never send you away again. I promise you. Do stay. Please stay. I've been so terribly lonely.
Your Majesty. Your Majesty.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, there you are. Did we give our nurses the slip then, cunning old Majesty?
This has nothing to do with me. He just started wailing.
I found her, Timon. I found the Queen. My dear Mariamne. She's come back to me. Oh, you look just as you did on the quay at Caesarea when I jumped from the boat before they even had the gangplank out. I was so eager to be with you, to remember the breeze in your lovely hair and the sunlight vying with your shining eyes, your dress of silk and gold, the flowers you'd woven around your head. We must have a little party. Timon, you go to the kitchen. No. Look closely. That's not the Queen. Of course it's the Queen. Look at her. Look at her wonderful hair. Ah, but Mariamne's hair is all thick and frizzy, isn't it? And she always has different ornaments in it. Well, who's that then? This is a lady who's come from the banquet. Lady...
Zibiah of the House of Ben Sirach.
Well, where's the Queen? Isn't she in her suite? The Queen lives in Egypt now, remember? You sent her to Egypt to live with Cleopatra. Did I? Oh, yes, of course. My dear, not that I'm sure that was a wise move. Cleopatra was wildly in love with me, you see. I invited her to her wedding, but of course she didn't come. Not even a present. I hope my wife's enjoying herself down there. Oh, yes. They'll have lots to talk about. Now, let's get along, shall we? I've got your water closet ready. Is it that time already? Oh, well, good night, my dear. Very nice to have met you. You have such lovely hair. Well, off we go then. Yes, I'll manage. Good night. Good night.
Was that him? Was that really Herod? He was so nice.
Yes, it was, and I would beg discretion on your part. Stories circulate, you know.
What was all that about my hair?
His Majesty was a little confused. The late Queen had long dark hair, not unlike your own.
He thought I was Mariamne. He was actually in love with me.
Only for 15 seconds. Don't get your hopes up.
Is he always like that? Mad all the time?
Certainly not. His Majesty can be very alert, very normal.
Or something in between. I know what you're not saying. I expect all the murders drove him over the edge, especially Mariamne.
Those are wicked lies.
That's very loyal of you, dear, but everybody knows. Just accept it.
Well, as I said before, these are private apartments.
Of course, I'll find my own way out. You see to His Majesty.
Yes, I think I'd better, Well, I'll bid you good night then.
Very nice to meet you, Timon. I'm sorry I was a little sharp.
That's all right. Now, I've got to go. Excuse me.
15 seconds. Not bad for the first meeting. Well, off I go. Oh, such a warm night. I probably won't need this scarf. I may as well just drape it here, tastefully on the couch. By accident, of course. Bye-bye, scarf.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty, for agreeing to the bath. Your body slaves will have you all pink and glowing and scrubbed to perfection. And sleepy, I hope, because I wouldn't mind just nodding off myself. Oh, that's a very fetching scarf. Oh, it's beautiful fabric, very finely woven and so delicate. Let me try. Oh, it's hardly any weight at all round the shoulders. Really clever colour, unusual, eye-catching, but not ostentatious. Just not the sort of thing Herod would wear. Oh, General Nabal, what can I do for you?
Sit down, Timon. You need a rest.
Oh, I do. I've just got him to go for a bath. I told the slaves to take the time. You're not enjoying the banquet, then?
Oh, it's the usual babble. I'm rather running out of small talk. Besides, I'm a little preoccupied.
Will you have a jar with me, then? It's not what they're serving downstairs, you know. This is from the private cellar, if you get my meaning.
Oh, well... perhaps just a mouthful.
Yes, go on. He'll never know.
I say, that's very fine stuff. Practically dishwater downstairs by comparison.
Did you want him? He won't be about tonight.
No, I was actually looking for someone. She should be downstairs, but I last saw her here. Tall woman, dark hair, Roman-style dress. You're wearing her scarf, Timon. The scarf round your shoulder. You have seen her.
Oh, I couldn't get rid of her. She was sitting here as if she owned the place. Had quite a long conversation with himself. He thought she was Mariamne. I think she quite liked the idea. He was in love with me.
In love with her? Oh, no. Oh, surely not.
Something wrong?
No. I need to give her a message.
A friend of yours?
My sister-in-law, as a matter of fact. Her husband's ill, my brother, and we need to discuss it. Family talk.
Oh, I'm sorry, General. If I can do anything.
Thank you, Simon. You gave me your sympathy, and goodbye.
Oh, do excuse me. Is this a private party?
The party's downstairs, madam.
Zibia, you have no legitimate reason to be in these apartments.
Whereas you can just walk in. Give me some of that wine.
I'm in charge of His Majesty's military affairs. I have permanent access.
Of course. Well, my excuse isn't nearly so good. Silly little me forgot my scarf. It came all the way from Memphis, terribly expensive, so I couldn't possibly just leave it here now, could I?
Well, you've got it. Now go back to the banquet.
Oh, so soon? I thought I might give my regards to the dear old king.
Zibia, the truth. Are you even remotely serious about trying to marry Herod?
Nabal, don't be so rough.
Tell me.
I don't like frontal attacks. You're not on campaign.
But I think you are. He thought you were Mariamne. You thought he was in love with you. Yes, I know. He's a mad old man, Zibia. Leave him alone. Haven't you used all your cruelty on our family?
You seem to think I owe you something, Nabal. I don't know what debt you're trying to collect, but I'd be deeply grateful if you didn't get in my way.
Simon! Oh, Simon, I can't sleep.
I think you understand me, Nabal.
And who have we here? Oh, don't tell me.
The Egyptian ambassador. Why not have a drink with the ambassador? A little sip of this? It's his medicine. There we are.
Oh, very poor wine. I do apologize, Your Excellency. Now, if it's about the grain subsidy...
And just look who's come to say hello.
General Nabal, how nice, and I think I know you.
The Lady Zibia of the House of Ben Sirach. Your Majesty honoured me with your conversation earlier. I left my scarf. How silly. Your Majesty was kind enough to compliment me on my hair. I'm wearing it down tonight for a change.
Madam Zibia, I think we... Your hair? Yes, I believe I did. Very fine hair, very haunting.
Your Majesty's company was so warming. I'll always remember.
Then why not have some more of it? Timon, some wine for the lady. You'll join us, General. Sire, forgive me. I'm required downstairs. Well, let me select some sweetmeats for you, my dear. No.
Timon, come here. Is he mad?
What?
Mad or sane? Does he know what he's saying?
Well, sane, actually.
Perfectly normal?
Yes.
Right.
Well, now, Zibia of Ben Sirach. Oh, don't look surprised. I've seen you at every palace reception since you were married. I see, I hear, and I remember. I'm completely informed about every one of the slightest significance in this kingdom, including the vigorous, ambitious, and spirited wife of Uzzah Ben Sirach. Oh, and by the way, my congratulations on your spouse's rapid and most promising deterioration.
Ah, you can't say that.
Timon, I am the king. Like this lady, I am a realist, and I'm generally acknowledged to be more than a little gaga. I think I can say what I like. Besides, madam, I don't think I'm giving anything away if I say your husband is the most uninteresting man I've ever met. A superb grasp of financial administration, but deadly boring. I don't know how you've stood the tedium all these years. You must have been demented.
Your Majesty has great insight.
Oh, remark here, an observation there, a conversation reported. Everything reaches me. I know all about your frustration. A woman of your caliber should have made a better match, something more stimulating.
Uzzah has been a good husband to me within his limitations.
And he's growing more limited every day, from what I hear. Who do you have in mind?
Sire?
Oh, come. A woman like you must be looking ahead. You won't be moping around in widow's weeds for the rest of your life. You're not the type.
Well, sire, it's true that, alas, I will soon be alone, but who will protect me and provide for me then? I don't know.
Expect Uzzah's money will provide for you. As for protection, I think you would see to that yourself. Very well.
One gathers one's resources as best as one can. But what a fine and generous judge of character you are, sire. And how understanding. You, of course, will know the longing that the absence of a companion can bring. How tragic that you must rule alone. Oh, forgive me, I have spoken quite out of turn. It was just that, for a wonderful moment, I felt such compassion.
I'm deeply moved. So, you think I should marry?
Far be it from me.
No, don't be shy. Any suggestions?
Well, if I may presume, your Majesty would need to marry someone of an old and aristocratic Jewish family, with connections to a royal line if possible, to ensure acceptance by the people, you see, and to strengthen your position.
Yeah, good point. Carry on.
She should have some knowledge of provincial administration and court life and be, what can I say, a spirited person, a woman of inner strength, determination, who could help you rule. And, of course, may I say it, one who could be your companion, the comfort of your intimate hours, one who could cherish you.
You've certainly given it some thought. And how amazing.
Amazing, sire?
Yes, the most astonishing coincidence. If I'm not mistaken, it describes you exactly. I can't vouch for the cherishing bit, of course, but all the rest, it's you to a T.
Gosh. Why, yes. Isn't it amazing what one says without realising? Goodness, your Majesty is so perceptive. Mind you, I'd certainly do the cherishing. Oh, there I go. Do excuse me.